Hello everyone and welcome, and today we're going to be talking about sections, divs and articles. Now I know a lot of you are going to ask, what do we use these tags for? Well, we use these tags to determine where text and images and videos are placed within a web page. So for example, if I start a doc element now, I'm going to quickly explain the difference. Before we start, I'm going to quickly explain the difference between a section, a div and an article to you lot. Essentially, a section represents a generic part of a document or application. A section in this context is a thematic grouping of content. So example, a chapter, various tabbed pages in a tabbed dialog box, or numbered sections of a thesis. A website's homepage could be split into sections for an introduction, news, items and contact information. The section element is not a generic container element and is typically used with a heading, whereas a div has no special meaning at all. It can be used with class, language or title attributes to mark up semantics common to a group of consecutive elements. When no other element is suitable, the div element is used as an element of last resort. Otherwise, it leads to poor accessibility for the reader. So essentially, a div is used wherever we need styled, like a styled box, and it's used within sections and articles to determine content and separate content. And then thirdly, an article represents a independent item section of content. It must have a H1 tag for a title. An independent item section of a content may include a forum post, a magazine article, a newspaper article, or a blog entry, or a user submitted comment. In principle, content in the article and an element should be independently distributable or reusable. Okay, so now if I were to go into a web page like this, if I were to press inspect and go over to the elements, as you can see, we have a ton of divs within this page. I just want to give you some examples of uses for div sections and articles. So if I were to go to the next page and I were to press inspect, as you can see, we have a section here which determines the main body of the text. It goes all the way down to the bottom, which is a usual use case for sections. And then if we were to go to the third page where some articles are involved, as you can see, the article does a similar job to the sections in the previous page. So yeah, all three of these pages use divs, as is generally common for divs to be included within a web page. I think it's quite uncommon for you not to have divs within a web page, as the use is quite extensive. They've got a lot of variety in the use cases. So if I were to go back here, and to start off with, what we're going to do is I'm going to create a section just like that, and then I'm going to create a new line. So to go to the end of the line in VS Code, what you can do is you can press end on your keyboard and then simply just press enter. And then I'm going to make a article tag as well. And then within these two tags right here, I'm going to create a div, separate that. Then I'm going to create another div here and separate that. And I'm going to include h2 tag here, h2 tag here, and a h1 tag on the top of that article, and enter h1. Okay, within this I'm just gonna say what this was a newsletter. I would start off with a title, so I'm gonna say my newsletter, and then for the h2, since this is above the article, I'm gonna give it a title. So example, let's say if it was a newsletter, oil price predictions. For 2022. So if I press Ctrl S and then press Ctrl Shift P and open a live server, and before that let me just put something in that H2 element here. I'm just gonna say, let's put lorem, enter, view, word wrap, Ctrl S to save, and then let's go back in to our document, and there you can see we have our article right here and our section below. I'm pretty sure, no, section on top and article below. Okay, so if I press inspect and I look up both of them, as you can see we have our section here and then we have our article over here. Both of them expand to fit the size of the text because we've not actually determined, or we've not set any styling to determine the size. But yeah guys, that's how you use divs, articles and sections within a web page. I'll see you within the next video, which is going to come up right now.